English proficiency is often a universal key, isn't it? It can unlock so many doors, whether you're looking at higher education or maybe advancing your career.
Definitely.
But, with the whole world of English tests out there, how do you know which one is truly right for your specific path? And, what makes it genuinely valuable in the context you actually need it?
Yeah, it's true. Many people are familiar with tests like, say, the TOEFL IBT.
Hmm.
But there's another powerful credential that, well, often flies under the radar for those outside its immediate sphere of influence,
Okay.
especially prominent in places like Indonesia. And that's the TOEFL ITP.
Ah, the ITP. Right.
So this deep dive is really all about pulling back the curtain on this particular test, drawing directly from the sources you provided us. We want you to understand exactly what it is, where it can potentially take you, and maybe the best way to approach it.
Okay, so our mission today is basically to give you a clear, concise path to being genuinely well-informed about the TOEFL ITP. We want you to grasp what it measures, why institutions lean on it so heavily, and crucially, how you can strategically leverage it for your own goals.
Hmm.
All without getting lost in, information overload. We're going to explore its structure, understand the scoring, and even walk you through the steps to sign up.
Sound good?
Hopefully, you'll feel completely clued in by the end.
Let's do it.
So let's kick things off with the basics. What is the TOEFL ITP at its core? How does it really distinguish itself from other English tests you might encounter? Especially the IBT, which tends to grab more of the spotlight.
Okay. So the TOEFL ITP, it stands for Institutional Testing Program.
Yeah.
It's a standardized English proficiency test developed by ETS, that's the Educational Testing Service.
Right.
Now, the fundamental distinction here, and this is really key, is its primary application. It's used predominantly by institutions globally, but for their internal purposes.
Internal purposes. Okay.
Exactly. Think of it as a trusted internal benchmark. It's designed to measure non-native English speakers' abilities, specifically within an academic context. So less about direct international university admissions like the IBT, and more for things happening within an institution.
And what's truly fascinating looking at the material we've reviewed is just how pervasive and, frankly, powerful it is in Indonesia.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just another option on a list. It feels more like an institutional backbone there.
That's a good way to put it. The information highlights its role in really crucial areas like university graduation requirements,
Right.
eligibility for a lot of domestic scholarship selections, and even for getting precise class placement within English language programs.
So, which English class you get put into.
Exactly. And it also plays a significant part in program evaluation, sort of tracking student progress over time. And beyond academia, our research shows it's increasingly a key factor in employee recruitment for some major organizations, too.
Right.
And when we connect this to the sort of broader landscape, its local significance in Indonesia becomes even clearer. The official license holder and the primary administrator for the TOEFL ITP across the country is the Indonesian International Education Foundation, or IIEF.
IAF. Got it.
So this means when you're taking the ITP in Indonesia, you're engaging with the IEF's official network,
Yeah.
which really cements its legitimacy and ensures that your score carries, official weight.
Okay.
Understanding that administrative structure,
hmm
I think, adds a vital layer of trust and clarity to why it's so widely accepted there.
This is where the practical application really comes into play for you, our listener. Because you might be wondering, okay, a test for internal purposes.
Mhm.
But how does this score translate into tangible opportunities for me? Is it really more than just a certificate on paper?
Absolutely. The TOEFL ITP certificate actually carries quite substantial recognition. It proves to be pretty valuable in both academic and professional spheres.
Okay, how?
Well, for scholarships, for instance. You'll find it widely accepted by the Indonesia Endowment Fund for Education LPDP, which is famously known,
Oh, yeah, huge.
especially for domestic university applications. And, in some scenarios, it can even serve for initial applications to universities abroad, though usually with the understanding that a TOEFL IBT, or maybe an IELTS, would likely follow later on.
Right, as a next step, potentially.
Exactly. It's also recognized by the Beasiswa Unggulan, or BU, from the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology. And quite interestingly, in certain specific geographic areas within Indonesia, it can even be used for initial Australia Award Scholarship AS applications.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah, although extensive language training and an IELTS test typically precede the final selection there.
Okay, makes sense.
We've also seen it accepted for initial registrations in some Fulbright scholarship programs, particularly those run in collaboration with DHTI, the Director General of Higher Education. So, it really is quite versatile in opening certain doors.
That's an impressive range of opportunities, especially on the scholarship front, not just national ones.
Right.
But the material also indicates almost all Indonesian universities offering master's, S2, and doctoral S3 scholarships accepted, plus many regional government scholarships.
That's right.
That covers a massive amount of academic advancement potential. But, okay, let's shift gears a bit. What about the professional world? How does this score translate into a real career advantage?
Well, in our increasingly globalized economy, English proficiency has become, a pretty fundamental competency.
Sure is.
And the ITP score has really solidified its position as a benchmark for recruitment in numerous state-owned enterprises, SOEs, and government agencies in Indonesia.
Why is that, do you think? What's the driver?
Well, think about the demands. International business communication, the need to navigate and study complex technical documents, maybe accessing corporate training or scholarship programs abroad. These organizations need employees who can operate effectively in an English-speaking environment, even if it's not their primary language day to day.
That makes sense.
And our research actually highlights some significant organizations that specifically look for this credential.
Yeah, and they're truly prominent names. We're talking major players like PT Pertamina, PT Peruzo Han Listrik Negara, PLN,
Big ones.
leading banks like Mandiri, BRI, BNI, PT Telkom Indonesia, PT Garuda Indonesia, the Financial Services Authority, OJK, Bank Indonesia.
It's quite a list.
It really is. Plus, it's a requirement for specific civil servant candidate selection, or CP&S positions, especially within internationally focused ministries like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kemenlu, and the Ministry of Finance, Kemenku. That's, well, quite an impressive list of institutions putting their trust in the ITP. It really solidifies its standing as a national benchmark.
Definitely.
And a genuine resume booster for some of the most sought-after jobs in the country.
It is, but it's absolutely crucial to remember this. Always, always consult the official recruitment announcements for any specific opportunity you're targeting.
Right. Don't assume.
Exactly. The minimum score required can vary quite significantly, depending on the position and the specific institution. Generally, it falls within a range, maybe 450 to 550.
Okay.
But there's certainly no universal passing score. So, diligent research into the specific requirements for your goal is essential.
Good advice. So if you're now thinking, okay, maybe I should take this test, what does the actual experience entail? What can you expect when you walk into that test center and sit down?
Right. Well, the TOEFL ITP is structured with 140 multiple choice questions.
Multiple choice only.
Yes, entirely multiple choice. And they're distributed across 3 distinct sections. The total testing time is approximately 115 minutes.
So just under 2 hours.
Just under 2 hours, yeah. It's definitely a test that requires focus and pretty good time management.
Okay, let's quickly walk through each section just so you have a clear idea of what to expect and what skills are being assessed.
Sounds good.
First up, Section 1, Listening Comprehension. This section has 50 questions, and it takes about 35 minutes. It's designed to gauge your ability to understand spoken English. It starts with short, sort of everyday conversations, moves into longer discussions, and then progresses to short lectures or monologues on academic subjects.
So a range of listening contexts.
Exactly. You'll need to follow the thread of what's being said and identify key information, main ideas, details.
Okay.
Next, we have Section 2, Structure and Written Expression. Now here you'll tackle 40 questions, but in a tighter time frame, just 25 minutes.
Ooh, quicker pace there.
Yeah. This part really zeroes in on your mastery of English grammar and standard sentence structure. You'll often be asked to identify errors in sentences, or maybe choose the most grammatically correct way to complete a statement.
Got it. Grammar focused.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And finally, Section 3, Reading Comprehension. This is the longest section. 50 questions, and you have 55 minutes allotted.
Okay.
In this part, your task is basically to read and understand several academic-style passages. You'll need to comprehend main ideas, specific details, vocabulary, and context, and even sometimes infer the author's intent or purpose from the text.
Right. Typical academic reading skills. This comprehensive 3-part structure really ensures that the test provides a well-rounded assessment. It covers the core English language skills that are most vital for success in both academic and professional environments.
Yeah.
It kind of mirrors the type language engagement you'd find in university coursework or maybe an international workplace.
Okay, so you've gone through the test. Hopefully you've answered all 140 questions. How do they actually arrive at that final score you see on your report? It's not just a straightforward tally of correct answers, is it?
No, that's absolutely right. The TOEFL ITP score isn't a simple raw count of correct answers. Instead, your performance goes through a crucial conversion process to yield what's called a scaled score.
Scaled score.
Yes, the total score you can achieve ranges from a minimum of 310 up to a maximum of 677.
306.77.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, when we look at scoring, our sources actually revealed a really crucial strategy. What's a game-changing tip for someone trying to maximize their ITP score?
This is a fantastic point, and one of our sources highlighted as absolutely critical.
Oh, what is it?
There is absolutely no penalty for wrong answers on the TOEFL ITP.
That's huge.
It changes everything about how you approach guessing, right?
Completely.
So it is highly, highly recommended to answer every single question. Don't leave any blank. Even if you have to make an educated guess towards the end, you literally have nothing to lose and potentially points to gain.
That's probably the single best piece of test-taking advice for the ITP. The key takeaway, then, regarding the score itself, is that it's a scaled score, not that simple count of correct answers. Your performance in each section, listening, structure, reading, is converted to a scaled score for that specific section. For instance, listening structure scores range from 31 to 68,
Okay.
and reading goes from 31 to 67. These individual scaled scores are then combined and, well, mathematically scaled again to give you that final total number between 310 and 677. And this whole process ensures a consistent and reliable measure of proficiency, even across different versions or administrations of the test.
And beyond just the numerical score, the material we reviewed mentions that ETS even awards certificates of achievement, which is, a really nice tangible recognition.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You can earn a bronze certificate for scores between 460 and 542,
Okay.
silver for 543 to 626, and a prestigious gold certificate for those achieving between 627 and the maximum of 677.
Gold, silver, bronze. Nice.
Yeah. These could be great additions to your academic or professional portfolio, right? Something concrete to show.
Definitely adds a bit of flair.
All right, so if you're now feeling ready and maybe inspired to take this on, how do you actually go about registering for the TOEFL ITP? Our research indicates it's not a direct process with IIF itself, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, registration isn't handled directly by IIF. Instead, it goes through a network of institutions that serve as official TOEFL ITP test centers. These centers are, rigorously vetted and operate under the IIEF umbrella. The general steps are pretty clear. First, you need to identify an official test center. These are typically universities or sometimes well-regarded English language course providers. IIEF regularly updates a comprehensive list of these centers across Indonesia. And accessing this list via their official link, that's crucial.
Why official?
To guarantee the authenticity and the validity of your eventual certificate,
Yeah.
you want to make sure you're at a legitimate center.
Makes sense. So find a center from the official list, then what?
Right. After you've found a center that suits your location and maybe your schedule, you will contact them directly. Ask for specific information regarding their test schedules, availability, the fees, which can vary slightly, and their precise registration procedures. They'll guide you through their specific process. You'll then need to complete a registration form. Sometimes it's online, sometimes it's a physical document. Make absolutely certain that all your personal data matches your official government ID, like your national ID card, your KTP, or your passport. Details matter here.
Right, get the name spelling perfect.
Exactly. Next, you'll make your payment. The fees typically range from around IDR 550,000 to maybe IDR 700,000.
Okay, good to have a ballpark.
And finally, ensure you confirm your registration and, importantly, keep your proof of payment safe. You might need it on test day.
Good tip. Now, is there anything about frequency? Can you just take it whenever you want?
Very important point for planning. According to the official ETS regulations, a participant is permitted to take the official TOEFL ITP test only once per month.
Once a month. Okay.
That's at any test center in Indonesia. So you can't hop between centers to take it more often.
Right.
This is a critical piece of information, particularly if you're aiming for a specific score by a certain deadline. It impacts your preparation time and any potential retake strategy.
Definitely need to factor that in.
Right.
Just to give people a feel, any examples of well-known centers mentioned in our sources?
Yeah, sure. Just to give you a taste, you have institutions like LBI, FABUI, and
Yep.
LBPP-LIA, both in Jakarta,
Okay.
UPT Bahasa ITB in Bandung, SELEX UI in Yogyakarta, and the Center for Language and Multiculturalism, UNAir, in Surabaya.
Some big university names there.
Exactly. But again, and we really can't emphasize this enough always check that official IIE list.
Right.
Get the most current information and ensure you're registering with a legitimate, recognized center. Don't just rely on word of mouth.
Sound advice.
Yeah.
So what does all of this mean for you, our listener? We've really unpacked the TOEFL ITP quite a bit here. What it fundamentally is, it's a really vital role within Indonesia for both educational pursuits and career progression. Its detailed structure, how its scoring works, especially that no penalty tip,
Crucial.
and the practical steps for registration. It's undeniably a test that carries substantial weight and seems to enjoy really widespread acceptance within the country.
Well, it really does.
This isn't just some general English test. It feels like a precise tool designed for specific aspirations and pathways within Indonesia.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the TOEFL ITP offers a concrete, recognized measure of English language skills. Skills that can genuinely pave the way for academic advancement and professional opportunities, particularly within Indonesia.
Right.
It sort of encourages critical thinking about how specific certifications can act as strategic stepping stones, whether you're targeting, say, a domestic scholarship, a specific university program, or maybe a position with one of those major state-owned enterprises we mentioned. For you, the listener, the next logical step is probably to consider how this specific certification aligns with your personal goals, and to empower yourself with this knowledge, enabling you to make truly informed decisions about your future trajectory.
Absolutely. So with this particular deep dive complete, maybe consider this thought. How might mastering a widely recognized institutional test like the TOEFL ITP strategically reshape your immediate academic or career trajectory?
Good question to ponder.
And beyond that, maybe think about what other localized proficiency benchmarks in different fields or regions might be equally impactful for your specific goals. It encourages you to always dig a little deeper into the specific requirements of your aspiration.
Always check the specifics.
Definitely. We really encourage you to explore the official IIEF website. Get the most up-to-date information on test centers, maybe current fees, any changes in requirements. Consider that your next informed step.
Good plan.
Go out there and make that knowledge work for you.